So while I was waiting for my ribbon to dry, I created a dilemma for myself because I did this. You ready? Watch. I went, right, okay, so I'll take these little guys off. All right, and we'll put all them on there. Right, so I'll just pop these on here for now while we're waiting. And I went, oh, that looks really cool. I actually like how much they stand out now without the book cover behind them. However, the book cover has got all the stenciling on it, and it's got the hot, so you know, like I kind of can't not have it. But I'm thinking, what is it that I don't like about the book cover? Is it the colour, or is it the fact that, you know, it makes everything all crammed? Because that was the other concern that I had. I don't know, what do you think? I mean, you could go either way, it wouldn't really matter. Should I just hang the little tassels off of it and see what it looks like? Or do I go and put eyelets along here and hang the tassels? Like, now I'm really confused. This is what I hate. So with the book cover, without the book cover. I like it without. I have to say I like it without. Okay, so let's have a think about this. Let's cut the book cover. Because that's what normal people do. Because really, the bit I love the most about the book cover is this strip here with the eyelets on it, which is really the part that I want. The rest of it I'm not too phased about. So if I just take that off and then I attach that to the bottom to hang the little threads that I've created off of, that might solve all my design problems. What do you reckon? Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. And then I keep some of my stenciling, and I'm going to be able to tie my little doovies on it, and these guys are still going to stand out. Should I sit them on it? We'll see that. We'll see that later. What I'm going to do is going to tie these on. So let's pop you out the way for now. Are my ribbons dry? Oh, dry enough. So let's do some tying off. In the meantime, I'll contemplate about what I'm actually going to do. I'll change it again, guaranteed. I know I will. That's just what I do. So I like to start with my thicker pieces first because they are usually the hardest ones to thread through. This one's a bit long, so I'm just going to snip it in a couple of places. I don't like them to be all the same length, so snipping them different sizes is pretty cool. This one's going to be itty bitty tiny because I cut it really small. Oh, fiddly fingers. Can I do this? Yes, you can. Of course I can. Look at that. Just got to concentrate. Oh, that's cute. That's very cute. So that is my first little tie off. And then I'll put a bit of baling twine through that one as well. It's a good colour. Matches really well with what we're doing with the oranges and stuff. Like that. Doesn't matter how you tie them, you know, like you don't have to be a Boy Scout. I'd do a couple of knots with this one because it's a bit of a tougher texture. And then I think we need a little bit of green in that one, so we'll go with this beautiful green ribbon here. Oh, that end's a bit too thick. We'll try this end. Eventually I'm going to fail at this and I'm not going to be able to get them through because, of course, the more you put through it, the harder and harder it is to fit the next piece of ribbon through. So there we go. That's the first one done. That's not too bad. Here, let's have a look and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's going to work. That is going to work. So I'm going to continue on. I'm going to put the rest of these on here. I'm not going to bore you to tears you watching me tie some string on, but yeah, I'll come back to you when I'm done that. Okay, so I did all that twiny-winey on the edge of that book page where I put the eyelets, and it looks really cool. So now I've got to decide where it's going to go. And you can do the side, you can do the top, but I really do like things hanging, but I can't quite work out exactly where I want it. So, like, do I want them standing on it? Do I want them floating above it? Do I not even want it on it at all? Do I want it... Ooh, I want it down there. That's where I want it. So now I'm going to have to attach it somehow to my... Oh, that's brilliant, because then it'll hang. Yes, that's what I want. And then what I could do is I can incorporate this bit that I've got left over, and that'll kind of balance it out a bit. So, oh, now I'm getting excited. Oh, I love it when things just come together because I really wanted to use this. This is one of my favourite pieces. Like I didn't want to just ditch it aside. I don't know what else I would use it for, or looky. I think we've got it. I think we've got it. I don't like this edge, but I think I've got an idea for that as well. Because remember I had some doily floating around. See? I chopped off a bit to put through the threading. So what I can do, oh, these little people just keep falling apart, is I can use that. Oh, it fits perfectly. It was meant to be. Meant to be. And then these little guys might need to come down a bit. But yeah, that's the idea. Oh, I can't wait to stick it all together. Have to work out how I'm going to attach this, but we'll work that out. That's easy. I might have to actually hand sew something. Heavens forbid. That could be disastrous. There we go. Now we're cooking. Look at that. Right, so we've just got to get it all together. That's my happy clap. See that? Happy clap. Just need to work out how I'm going to attach that. I think the best thing I'm going to be able to do is hand sew it, or I'm going to put some eyelets along here and just put a string through. Maybe we should try that. I'll get the good old croppie out because this has been painted. It's actually got quite a hard surface. So punching materials always, ooh, it's a tricky thing to do, punching material. Just pop you over there, knock my glue over because, you know, who cares? I'm excited now. It's all coming together. So I need to know exactly where I'm going to put those holes, and as I usually do, I never ever measure anything. I only eyeball it. So, you know, that looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good to me. I don't have a marker. Let me see what I've got in my little roll. Looky, looky, got a marker. And I'll just put some dots where the other eyelets are. I'm like, dude, what do I call them? Just dots, just like that. And this could work. It might work, it might not. I might just end up with dots on my piece. But that's pretty much where I'm going to punch them. And we want the big hole. And of course it doesn't fit because, you know, crocodiles have a limited length. But hey, that's not too bad. And then I'll have to get some more eyelets, and I'll have to put the eyelets in it. And look, I'm not going to bore you to tears while I do that. I'm going to go away and I'm going to put them in. And I'm going to come back and we're going to do a bit of weaving. Right, so I put the, you should have seen that. I really should have filmed it because it was pretty sad. But I did it in the end. It's not straight, but I don't mind. I really don't. Well, okay, so it bugs me a little bit, but that's okay. We won't worry about that. And they do line up with my other holes, which is the main thing. And I'm going to use some twine, and I'm not sure whether I want to weave it backwards and forwards or whether I want to hang each one separately. Honestly, I think it'll be easier if I just hang each one separately. So I've got my twine here, and I'm thinking if I just cut 5 pieces roughly the same size, this is my thinking. I don't know whether this will work or not. I can just tie the book bit that I cut off, the book page, no, the book cover, directly through the eyelet in the material. How many did I cut? I didn't count. 4. I need one more. And we'll see if it works. You just never know. This is what I love about making stuff, is sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, it's just a piece of twine. If it's better off being, you know, woven or threaded or whatever you want to call it, then we'll give that a go. But I reckon I can pull this one off. I'm a little bit worried because I've put so many bits and pieces in here that I'm actually going to struggle, yep, see, to get the twine through. So that's all right, that's not too bad. And then if we just go up through the hole, and then, so there's a couple of things. I can just tie it off there because it's only going to hang a little bit underneath. I wonder how I'm going to do that. All right, so I'm going to have to pull it all the way through. It's fiddly stuff. Whose idea was this? Crikey. It went from being a journal page to being an epic wall hanging. How did that happen? Look, seriously, I would love you guys to have a go at this, but if this is just, I can't even tie a knot, if this is just all a little bit too daunting for you, I would totally understand, because it's becoming a little bit too daunting for me, to be honest. And you could use a very similar design with a lot less mucking around, and you'd still get a really awesome result. This is not working for me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like you could use the idea of putting a border around the outside. You could still use the same techniques, just don't use a sewing machine. You could stamp some stitching on, or you could just draw the stitching on. That would be really cool. Hey, this is going to be okay. There's no gap though. I did want a little bit of a gap. Is that gonna annoy me if there's no gap? Probably. All right, we'll try that again. Yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, you don't have to make it nowhere near as complicated as mine. Maybe my pieces of string need to be a bit longer. Yeah, I think that's what I need. I tell you what, all those professionals are out there laughing at me going, oh my God. Here we go. It's half the fun. Hope I haven't wasted your time. I don't want to waste your time. Seriously. Right, let's do this. Through here, through there. Because what I wanted to do was one of those wraparound knots, because I really like the look of those rather than just a normal granny's knot. Yes, you like that? So I just needed a bit more length, and that's all it was. They're too short. We'll use them for something different. Now I don't know how long I cut that one, so I'm just going to have to make it up. Do you reckon it was about that long? I reckon it was about that long. Yeah, and I'm going to go through, and I think I'll do the two ends first, because then I can kind of balance it out. Although nothing that I make is ever even. It always hangs crooked on the wall, or you know, it doesn't ever sit flat in a book. I'm just one of those walking disasters, you know. I must irritate so many people. Right, so far so good. If I hang it though, it's pretty lopsided. So this one's going to have to be shortened, or this one's going to have to be lengthened. I think I'll just shorten this one, now that I've got a bit of an idea. There we go, so that goes there. I'll just put my gesso pot on that one so it doesn't move. And then make sure that's sort of straight, and that one needs to go there. So I'm just going to undo the knot. Nah, I'm not. I'm going to try and undo the knot. I've got no fingernails because I'm a painter. Look at them, seriously. So I used to go and get manicures, and then my nail technician just, every time I walked in the door, she would just shake her head at me. So now I don't go because she shamed me. She shamed me, and I'm a nail biter. You know, like I actually chew them off. I don't know why. I always have. I can never have pretty nails. I mean, can you imagine me doing this with long, pretty nails? If you've got long, pretty nails and you can do this, I take my hat off to you, because I am the least coordinated person in the world. There we go. That's a bit better. I'll bring that down further so it's a little bit shorter. Let's see if this works. It needs to go up a little bit. There we go. Maybe it would have been quicker if I had have just actually woven it on. But I'm going to go and do the other three, and then we're going to come back and put the whole thing together. So I did it. Didn't even take me that long, really. I mean, you just have to take my word for it. Apologise now. I mean, there is a whole list of supplies that I've used, but there are no measurements. If you're the sort of person that needs to have measurements, I'm sorry, I'm not a measurement person. So it's, you know, I mean, it's the age-old question, really, isn't it? It's how long's a piece of string? It's about that long. You just have to kind of experiment, because the thing is when you make something like this as well, is everybody's is going to be slightly different. I mean, it's just been a trial and error. So I really like it. I think it looked great. It hangs really well. I've trimmed some of these little bits here that, you know, that are too long for me. The only thing I don't like is that it's a bit gappy in here, but I've got a plan for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some thin gauge jeweler's wire, and I'm going to just wind it around these two pieces and join them together. It's going to do two things. It's going to keep them nice and stiff, so when it hangs it doesn't move around too much, but it's also going to add some of this yellow gold into it, which I've also used around the border with the irresistibles. Now this is quite thin wire, so you can just cut it with your scissors. This is a little bit fiddly, so I will do one of them. I'm not going to be very particular about it. What I love about the thin wire is you can actually tie it like string, so that's the first thing I'm going to do, is put like a little knot in it, and you can see already that it just brings that together. And then I'm just going to loop it around a few times. It gets a bit messy, but I'm going to loop it around a few times until it's all the wire has disappeared and it's woven around the twine. And then it'll keep it nice and stiff. And like I said, it's going to bring that beautiful gold into it. Again, I'm not going to make you watch me do all 5 of these. You don't have to do this. You might like the loopy bits. I just like to keep things all orderly and together. Isn't that bizarre, considering how whimsical my little pieces become? Although, you know, that's what my art sort of looks like sometimes. It's got order to it, i.e. the wire around the string, but it's also very fun and whimsical. I'm really loving these hangings. I've made quite a few of them now. I hang them up. You would have seen them in my studio intro picture, my little video with, oh, you wait until you see the bloopers. Oh, you're going to love the bloopers. But yeah, you would have seen it. They're hanging up behind me in the video at the beginning. You can just see a couple of them. But I really like them. They're kind of a bit different. So yeah, look at that. Now that I've put some wire around it, I haven't gone all the way around, I've still got some more to do. But you can see how it's all brought it together so it doesn't have that gap in there. And so when I hang it, it's going to be a lot more stable. So I'll go along and do the rest of them and then we'll come back and then I promise we'll put it all together. So there you go. I have wired up each one of these little hangers and see how stiff they are now, and they don't have that gap in them, so that when it actually hangs they don't really flap around anywhere. They just flap where they need to flap, not to other places. Let's put this all together. That made no sense whatsoever. They only flap around where they need to flap around, not to other places. What I mean is that if you decide to hang something like this outside, which you could because it's pretty tough, and the wind comes along and, you know, this is all loose and it goes, it's not going to do that. That's all I mean. It's not going to do that. Let's get this put together. So we decided to use this in the end. Yeah. This is where the Helmer comes into it. The Helmer 450 glue is brilliant for sticking this stuff down. You don't need to have any additional backing or anything. I might put some backing on these guys because I do want to open the glue, Fiona. It's not that hard. Somebody send me a memo to remind me every time I make something to actually open the glue. There we go. That's so much better. I'm squeezing the bejeebers out of this glue bottle, wondering why it won't come out. And it's got something to do with the fact that the lid's still screwed on. Maybe I'm not all there today. All right, here we go. Flip it over. Stick it in place. Again, eyeballing it. Don't really mind. Oh, it's there. It's done. There's the basis of your hanging. So you could hang whatever you want on this. You could put a photo on it. You could do anything. I mean, you don't even have to make a hanging. You can just put it in your journal. Remember I was going to tip this back in again? Yeah, I'll just tip this in the journal. Actually, you know, you probably could. It probably could go back in. Let's have a look. Let's just do an experiment. Because, you know, it's not... Oh, so the heel marks goes through the thingy. I mean, it's not that thick. Sorry, got through all my trashy bits. Yeah, you could tip it in, and look, this bit would hang out the side. How cool is that? So you could tip it in if you wanted to. It wouldn't be a problem. You just get yourself some tape and stick it in on one side, and then stick it in on the other side. You might want to pretty up the back of it because, wow, look how much that soaked through. That's incredible, isn't it? But yeah, you could actually put it in your journal if you wanted to. I might do that, yeah. I might. We'll see how I go. All right. Let's put the next bit down. So these little squares, rectangles that we made, I'm just going to sit one off to the side. Actually, you know what we should do? We should put this stuff down first because I want the squares to sit on top of that. Boop, boop. Here we go. Get a good amount of glue just along. I want it on both the book and the canvas piece, so it makes sure it sticks well and truly. There's a good amount of glue there. You know that whole you can't have too much glue? That is not true. You can always have way too much glue because I think that's what I've done. But I just want it to sort of tuck but also slightly cover the top. That's going to look so messy. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's meant to be a messy piece. So that's really cool. That hangs down really well. That's just an old doily that I bought up from got from a second-hand store that I've just chopped up, and I'm slowly using all bits of it. I never use a doily as a whole piece. Oh, I shouldn't say that because I do. But look, I've got a heap of them. Lots and lots and lots of them. So some people are making them again, which is great because I'm starting to run out of finding places where I can actually buy them. Sometimes they're really, really cheap and sometimes they're really expensive, so it just depends. But yes, I do sometimes use a full doily on my pieces. Not very often though, because I find that I cover most of it up and all I see is this bit anyway, so I might as well trim it and just use the bit and then I get more out of them. But I'm not going to use a doily this time, or am I? Oh, don't do that to yourself, Fiona. You're not going to use a doily this time. What I am going to do is I'm going to start to place these down, and I think I'm going to use glue. I'm not going to use double-sided tape because I do want it to last. Do I want that back up that way? This is where it starts to go, what am I doing? What am I doing? No, I quite like it that way. All right, let's do this. Just stick it down, Fiona. Just stick it down. Anybody that's been to my classes, I think they get a little bit of a rude shock. And I'm like, you know what? Stop mucking around and just stick it down. It doesn't matter. So I should take some of my own advice. There we go. So we're just going to stick that one down there. So then I should go and do one on the other side so that when I do my middle one, it's actually in the middle. Learned that the hard way, didn't I? So we'll do the one on this side. Oh, I'm almost running out of glue. I have to get some more. When's Spotlight going to have another sale on glue? There we go. They have a sale and I go in and buy like, 10 tubs of it. I go through so much glue. Go like that. Put that one about there, I reckon. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I can do my middle one because then I know exactly where my middle is. I mean, not exactly because, oh, look, it's coming out. So epic glue failure. But hey, it's okay. Maybe I opened the lid too much. Yeah, I think I did this time. There we go. We'll just smear it all over there. Such a professional. All the words are upside down. I can't have that. And did I put the words upside down on that one? No, thank goodness. Oh, I did on that one. Look at that. Thank goodness that Hilma's quick drying glue is not that quick drying. Because, that would really annoy me if I was to sit there and look at it. Every time I walk past it, I go, those words are upside down. Some people, it doesn't really bother them, but it's one of those little things, Right, so now I want to put my people on, but I want to give them a little bit of a lift. So you can do it a couple of ways. You can use just some El Cheapo cardboard, or you could use some mounting tape. I did have some here. Yep. Mounting tape, or you could just use, some chipboard, leftover chipboard pieces behind it, whatever works for you. But I've got some mounting tape, so I'm going to do that because it's quick and easy. And I'm not going to be scungy with my mounting tape. I'm going to put a fair amount on here. A fair amount of mounting tape. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? And then, oh, this is the worst bit because, it's that whole nails thing again. I just don't have them. But anyway, I'll just dribble some crap to you while I pull them off. There we go. Sometimes you might need to add some glue just to make sure. Oh, glue. There we go, that's how we do it. Just to make sure that they are going to actually stick. I'm going to pop her kind of off to one side. And I've got my first little doll stuck down. I could actually just speed this up for you, couldn't I? Because it could be epic. It might take forever. Although he hasn't got much room on him, so he's only going to get a couple of pieces. Now I've got glue. Look, all over my fingers. Who else is messy? I am such a messy creator. Seriously, I have no idea how to be clean. I don't know how, you see these girls do these beautiful white pages. I don't do them very often because I have tried in the past. I've done white pages. This guy looks a bit stunned. Well, I mean, he's like got his mum and his mother-in-law and his wife, standing next to him. See, they just sit up a little bit. Look, I'm assuming it's his wife. Could be his sister. Could be a family portrait. Could be anything you want it to be. You could add a quote. that would be nice. Where would I put that? Oh, I don't know. I'm running out of room. I think I said that earlier. What happens is I go to make these little things, then I end up putting so much stuff on them that I run out of room. I pile up so much stuff. I'm just debating on whether I will actually put this one back in the journal or whether I want to hang it up. If I'm going to hang it up, I'll need to put something across the top here, obviously, to hang it by. So I do have a stick on the table. I was thinking about using that. Oh, I want her about there, I reckon. So yeah, I've got this stick. So usually what I do when I do my hangings is I try to find the straightest stick I can find. Obviously today I didn't. I might go and find the straightest stick, and then I literally just weave it on. I might actually use the gold thread to do that. And because the gold will just poke through the material, and then I can just tie it on like that. And there we go. I think it's done. Whew, that was epic. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you have a go at it. I mean, if you don't want to make a hanging, you don't have to make a hanging. What you can do is you can, like I said, you can put it in your journal. You could, you just use this concept of, making it horizontal and putting your little people in there. You don't even have to use people. You use photos of your family. That would be really cool. You could do that, and then just try the little hangy thing. You could put it back into your journal. You can hang it on the wall. Yeah. I hope you learnt some really cool ideas. I hope you're not frightened of my crazy brain. And thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Annette, for asking me to come along. And hang on and watch my bloopers, because they are definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Bye. I'll start that again. It's just a little bit difficult to get yourself into the right frame of mind. Probably what I need to do is just talk to myself, and then that's how it'll all happen. All right. Hello. That's a stupid hello, isn't it? Let's just do a normal hello. 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 I'm really not very good at this. In my real job, I work with very young children every day, and I'm an infant. Okay, I'll start that again. Take 42. I'm so glad I'm not doing this live. Yep, so glad this is not live. You'll be very glad this is not live. Very glad. I think I haven't sworn yet. That's a good thing. I won't. Actually, I can't promise I won't. Famous last words. Okay, here we go again. Oh, are my boobs hanging out? That's really quite embarrassing. Let's do that. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How do you say hello and not sound like an idiot? Hi. I sound like a foghorn. Hello. Hello. I should do it really Aussie. Are you ready? Hi. G'day. How are ya? No, that's just, I don't talk like that. I know probably to everybody else I sound like a real ochre Aussie, but I'm actually not. Okay. Last time. This is it. This is the serious shit now. Oh, I did swear. Sorry. Okay. Soul Journey 2000. Oh, welcome. Welcome. That's what I need to say. Far out. How easy was that? Okay. I'll just have another Wonder Woman sip. I'm just waffling. This is going to be very heavily edited because I just ramble. I'm sorry. I just ramble. This is why I'm not going Facebook Live. Like, seriously, I cannot do a Facebook Live because I just talk crap for like an hour and nothing would get done. Like, I haven't even opened the package yet. And I've been sitting here for like 40 minutes. Crikey. All right, let's do this.
Maybe I'll be able to just pick out a bit from here and a bit from there and a bit from there and put it all together and sound like a genius. What do you reckon? Oh, I've got my Wonder Woman cup, because we should all be Wonder Women. Womans. Wonder Womans. Oh, it's going to be it's Friday. I'm really lucky that in my work, my actual job, my real work, now my art's my real work, it just doesn't pay anything. In the work that pays me, we're ready to go.